My mind is completely blown, and it is terrifying. Some of y'all know about this new thing that's going around. I say that like it's a disease. It's literally creativity inside of a machine. It used to be that we would hire people to envision things for us and then paint them, and then we'd pay them for those paintings. But now we've figured out how to use artificial intelligence to make paintings. And by the way, this stuff is awesome. Some images above, some images below, and my face in the middle. It's hard to know whether or not it's an actual photograph or made inside of a computer, because usually things done like CGI, usually, unless you were a professional, it looks obvious that it ain't real. Midjourney is the big new one that's going on right now that a lot of people are really getting into, and good for them. I am not that hardcore. I like the concept. I am not that hardcore in the building. I also haven't figured out how to do it, and I tried, and it's complicated, and no one will tell me how to do it, and I don't feel like trying anymore. So I found this other app, and it's free, and I think you may have to pay for Midjourney. I'm not sure. But mine is not mine like I made it, but the one I use is completely free. Most of the images are trash, and often it doesn't understand where heads and necks stop, and sometimes it'll give a person like an extra arm. But by and large, I have a lot of fun with it. I really like the idea of putting a prompt in and then seeing how it interprets my prompt so that it can understand what it is I'm trying to say and then deliver something to me that I like and appreciate. And then, I can download it and save it in my phone and look at it. That's pretty much all it's good for. They have a limited amount of things they can work with. And when they kick out something, more often than not, it doesn't look real. Which is why when I put in this prompt and it gave me an image, my mind is completely blown. The prompt I put in was, a crown is placed on the head of a little girl, the diamonds are stars. That was it. A crown is placed on the head of a little girl, the diamonds are stars. What is this? Who is this very real child? Who is this princess child? Who is this literal, actually existing, human-born child? Why are they real? What country does she come from? Who is she? Because she's not invented inside of a computer. She's real. She exists. Whose kingdom is she the future queen of? Whose uncle is trying to take the country from her? Whose parents disappeared under mysterious circumstances? Who is kidnapped in the middle of the night, and you're thinking like it's probably the uncle and his nefarious schemes in order to take the country from her before her coronation day at the ripe young age of 5, which for whatever reason is her country's way of doing things if something like this happens. But it turns out that she's been kidnapped by the Black Raider, and the Black Raiders are a group of ruffians whose job, turns out, is to protect the monarchy in the event that something like this happens and there's someone trying to steal the country from them. They take them and they protect them. Who finds out that this Black Raider is actually an outcast of the Black Raiders, and they've been tracked back to his haunt, and now they're surrounded by the uncle and all of his men, and there's going to be a great war. And come to find out that the Black Raiders have infiltrated all levels of government and military in her kingdom, her very real kingdom. And now when the uncle offers to spare the Black Raider's life, he will just hand over this child, and the Black Raider says his oath, and then the Black Raiders who are in the military turn on those who would kill this tiny queen and give the power to the uncle, and then there's this huge war in the dark of the wood, and the Black Raider makes it out with the queen, and then they gotta figure out how to sneak this tiny queen back into the castle. And they do, of course, because, they're Black Raiders. And Black Raiders don't play around. They ain't messing around. They for real. So they figure out how to sneak her back in. And as the uncle is standing on the parapet, I don't know what it's called, but it's a place that's high up over, and he's talking to all the people who have come from miles around, and he's talking about how we will continue to look for her, and those who have hidden her will be severely punished. And then out of nowhere, the young princess is there. She's right there. She's just like in the middle of the crowd, and everyone sees her, and they all bow down, and the uncle realizes that his gig is up. Of course, he's executed, that's all done. But she's had a great adventure, and the Black Raiders are honored, and that happens. I'm just saying. This has got to be the realest child I have ever seen generated inside of a computer, and it is